Hello, I'm John Bachman. The House Select Committee on Benghazi wraps up their second hearing today. Congressman Trey Growdy chaired the meeting, and he says he will keep asking questions until he understands what happened the day at the American outpost in Benghazi.
I do not think we should move on until there is a complete understanding of how the security environment described by our own government in court documents was allowed to exist.
Assistant Secretary of State Greg Starr says his agency has also increased training for security guards after 4 Americans were killed, including the U.S. ambassador, during that attack on September 11th, 2012. Meanwhile, many people are blasting the Senate Intelligence Committee report for releasing the so-called CIA Enhanced Interrogation Report. One of the detractors, former CIA Director James Woolsey, who appeared here on Newsmax TV.
This public release was an awful idea, and it will, I think, redound to the great disadvantage of the United States, and it will help produce attacks on Americans abroad.
Well, Woolsey says the release of the report will do damage to Americans' ability to do work with foreign agents because no one wants to get hauled up before an international tribunal, which is exactly what the United Nations top investigator is trying to do now. Ben Emerson wants officials who served under former President George W. Bush to face criminal charges. Georgia and Missouri execute 2 inmates, bringing the total number of executions this year in this country to 35. But that's the lowest number since 1994. In Missouri, Paul Goodwin was put to death early this morning. He was convicted of sexually assaulting and killing an elderly neighbor back in 1998. And in Georgia, just hours before Goodwin was executed, the state executed Robert Wayne Holsey. Holsey fatally shot, a sheriff's deputy during a robbery in 1995. Bipartisan opposition is starting to grow against the $1 trillion, 1,600-page spending bill that had been blessed just last night by party leaders. House Speaker John Bachman remains confident, though, the bill will pass before the government runs out of money tomorrow night at midnight.
I wish it had been done last week, but it wasn't. And so here we are. I'm proud of the work that they've done. Look forward to it passing with bipartisan majorities in the House and Senate in the coming days.
But not so fast. Senator Elizabeth Warren and Congressman Chris Van Hollen, both Democrats, say the bill weakens financial oversight, so they might vote against it. Conservative Republicans are mad, too, because they say the bill still funds Obamacare and the president's executive action on immigration, at least temporarily. Again, that deadline to avoid the shutdown is tomorrow night at midnight. Time Magazine's Person of the Year is actually a group of very brave people. They're honoring the men and women who fought the Ebola virus outbreak in West Africa and here in the States. So far, that virus has killed more than 6,000 people. And in Hawaii, the Navy rescues a 67-year-old boater who was lost at sea for 12 days. Crew members found Ron Ingram and his 25-foot vessel 65 miles south of Honolulu. They had given up, but they kept up, and he was found 12 days later. Another update for you in 30 minutes.